Hello, and welcome to another Rangaru's unit of the week. And today we are taking a look at the Kyu-Maru Shiki heavy tank for Japan. So the Kyu-Maru Shiki, or Type 90, is a Japanese main battle tank developed in the 90s all the way to the late 2000s. Essentially, it was a upgrade over the Type 61 and Type 74 tanks because by the late 70s, they were seen rather inadequate to deal with Soviet T-72s, and so they developed a tank that could kill said T-72s. They spent, I want to say, 14 years in development in producing this tank, and they took inspiration from the M1 Abrams series and Leopard 2 tanks. The main thing I wanted to do, though, is to make it completely homegrown, using homemade parts without having to rely on friendly NATO countries to help build the tank. And they pretty much managed to do that. The only part of the tank that is from another tank is the gun itself, is a 120mm Rheinmetall cannon from the Leopard 2, but apart from that, it is a completely homegrown tank. There's not really many of them built, only 340, none of them have been overseas, and none of them have even been used in combat. So the actual effectiveness of the tank is still up to debate. In-game, the Kyu-Maru Shiki is a 170-point super heavy tank available to Japan with 2 weapons available to it. And that first weapon, of course, being that Rheinmetall 120mm cannon, with a range of ground at 2.3 kilometers essentially, 70% accuracy, 65% while moving, 23 AP, 3 HE, and a rate of fire of 12 rounds a minute. Overall, a very powerful super heavy tank gun. The main thing is that it can shoot rather fast at 12 rounds a minute, which allows you to outshoot most other super heavy tanks in game, if not all of them. And if you take a look at, we forgot there's an M2 Browning as well. If you take a look at its miscellaneous stats, it's got 20 frontal armor, 9 at side, 3 at back, and 3 up top. 10 HP, big size, medium optics, a speed of 70 kilometers off-road, and 110 on the road, an autonomy of 350 kilometers. He is restricted to 1992, it is an armoured unit, and it is also a prototype. In battle, the Kyu-Maru Shiki is a pretty awesome super heavy tank. Essentially, its main gimmick is it sacrifices armour in exchange for a very high rate of fire. For some examples, if we compare it to the Yugoslav M91A Vahor, it does more AP, it shoots faster, but the Vahor does have 2 extra frontal armor. And if we compare it to the French counterpart, the Leclerc, you do get more AP. The Leclerc, once again, has 1 more frontal armor, though the rate of fire is the same. And that's what makes this a pretty damn good tank. It can shoot very fast, and when you need to get first shot hit and then second shot hit to kill a super heavy tank, you want that rate of fire. Losing the armor is kind of a big deal, I have to say. Yes, it's only 1 or 2 armor points, which in the long run doesn't sound like a lot, but once you get up to the 20s or 24 stage, that 1 armor value can mean 2 hits or 3 hits to dying, and you don't want these tanks dying because they cost you a lot of money. And yeah, it's a solid super heavy. You just have to be a little bit more careful when using it. And also, we'll have to remember when General Blue fought like a year ago, everyone was using this tank because you could get a lot of them, and they weren't prototyped, which was bloody wonderful. It's a little bit overpowered, we have to admit, but it really filled out its role then. Too bad I don't really see it much anymore because Blue Dragon isn't exactly a popular deck. But yeah, good tank, just a little bit unarmored. And I'm going to leave it off at that. It's been another Rangaru's unit of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as usual, please just take it easy.